The following program is a presentation of the Special Projects and Documentaries Department of News Center 11.
Now comes the time to let you out there in on the results. I think we've got just the right person to handle this. He was playing violin at the age of 7. In 1974, became the first violinist from the Western world to win the top prize at the International Tchaikovsky Convention in Moscow. And he and the Grammy have a lot in common. They appear to be about the same age. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eugene Fodor.
It is my pleasure to give these winners the national exposure and recognition they so richly deserve for giving us an abundance of melodic riches. Best Chamber Music Performance, Copeland, Appalachian, Spring, Dennis Russell Davies, conductor.
An ovation for the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, 1979 Grammy Award winner. The Northwestern National Bank of St. Paul and the Northwestern National Bank of Minneapolis are proud to bring you this program of the award-winning St. Paul Chamber Orchestra.
Minnesota, you're a big-hearted place with a small-town smile. You've got a good bank on your side. You're our home, Minnesota. You're home, Minnesota. You've grown, Minnesota. We like growing up with you. Northwestern Bank, still on your side. Got a good bank on your side.
Hello, I'm Nancy Nelson, and that's a beautiful sound, isn't it? It's the recording of Aaron Copland's Appalachian Spring, for which the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra won their Grammy on February 27, 1980. A Grammy, the recording industry's most prestigious award. It can mean so many things. Obviously, recognition, perhaps an increased audience, likely financial gain as the album will sell in volume. But there's something very personal about winning a Grammy. A pride, an excitement.
And I think I jumped up in the air and I went, we're number one.
I've certainly never been involved in anything that even came close to getting an award like this, and I think we're all elated. Everybody in the orchestra is elated that we would have been considered and then that we would have actually won it. It's a surprise. It's just so much excitement. I don't know how quite to describe it.
It's great, and congratulations are coming from everyone. Everybody in the orchestra feels great.
I think it's wonderful for the pride that the individual members of the orchestra will have, and to be recognized. As I said, we all know that we're good, and to have that kind of recognition just emphatically states it.
Watching sports events all the time, and you see football, and you see baseball, and you see people going, number one. And I thought in a fantasy of mine, gee, that must be nice to be able to do that, you know, do it on TV. And so when you came and asked me that, I said, my chance, number one. It felt great. It was very exciting, very exciting.
I was pretty excited. We were having a nice dinner, and I was drinking some wine, and I just proceeded to finish the bottle right then and there.
The St. Paul Chamber Orchestra is unique. In the early 1960s, classical music lovers would, from time to time, organize a concert. They would hire freelance players, even members of the Minnesota Orchestra, for occasional chamber presentations. 1967 was the beginning of a permanent professional company. A string quartet and a wind quintet were hired. Still, the full complement of the orchestra was achieved by hiring freelance musicians. In 1968, a full ensemble of 22 members was hired, and the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra was officially born. From 1968 to 1980, it was the only full-time chamber orchestra in the entire United States. It was joined only this year by Los Angeles. Today, there are 26 members in the ensemble. Next season, there will be 31. Over the past 12 years, the orchestra has attained national and international recognition. Its annual season has grown to 40 weeks. 10 of those are spent on tour. The orchestra has toured in 33 states, Canada, the Netherlands, West Germany, Austria, Eastern Europe, and the USSR. The 1970-80 season will include tours to more than 20 states and 50 cities. The orchestra's annual budget is $1,950,000. Clearly, the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra is a major musical triumph. The key to the excellence that the ensemble has achieved very likely lies with conductor Dennis Russell Davies. He accepted the conducting position in 1972. Many are saddened by the fact that this is his last season in St. Paul.
This is my 8th season. I was 28 when I came here, and I'll be 36 when I leave. This has been a wonderful place. The public has been extraordinary in its flexibility and, I think, sympathy and willingness to hear experimental things. The orchestra has grown tremendously, and I have too, I think.
Dennis will be on his way to a 4-year contract in Stuttgart. He leaves with mixed emotions.
When I came, I had certain gifts, and I had an enthusiasm, and I knew how to put performances of music together. But I think in these 8 years, I've learned so much that I think really I'm taking more from this community than I could have ever possibly give.
The orchestra has made 5 albums, but it was that 5th album that brought the coveted Grammy. Dennis is a scholar of American music. He chose a rigorous piece by Brooklyn-born composer Aaron Copland titled Appalachian Spring for one side of the disc. Recorded at Sound 80 Studios in Minneapolis, the work represents a nearly unprecedented approach. Normally, a recording is cut and recut and dubbed and mixed. Appalachian Spring was achieved by treating it as a live performance. The orchestra played the entire 25-minute piece through, and that performance is exactly what ended up on the commercial record. It was, to say the least, an impressive achievement for the musicians.
We all were quite nervous. It's a new process, and nobody is used to doing this kind of recording where we have to be perfect all the way through without making any errors.
It was really one of the hardest things I've ever done. Appalachian Spring is a terrifically hard piece, and then to have to do the whole thing on one take is just a very grueling task.
When you're recording like this and you have, say, a 25-minute record to make, you go for 24 minutes, everything is fine. In the back, you try not to think about it, but you know in the back of your head, you have 1 more minute. If something goes wrong, all the 24 minutes, all the effort, all the concentration, all the complete put out of energy, you want to put it that way, goes right down the drain.
The players had to play it from beginning to end. There are no edits in that record, and when you think of that, no one has ever made a 25-minute direct-to-disc record. It's impossible for the players.
Aside from the unchallenged excellence of all of the humans involved in the recording, a new machine called a digital recorder had a great deal to do with the finished sound. Developed by 3M over a period of 9 years, this new technique is expected to revolutionize the recording industry.
It's recording numbers that represent that music. It's like painting by numbers. This uses like computer technology to store on the tape the numbers representing the music. When it comes off, it comes back clean, pure, and you hear exactly what went in.
This record was actually made on the prototype of their system. It was made on a machine called Herbie, nicknamed after Herb Pilhofer, the president of Sound 80. And we actually, it was a prototype-looking machine sitting over there in the corner, and that's what we made this record on. Some of the I hope, incredible things that are on that record are technical advantages that the digital system gave us. The technical advantages of digital are immense.
The irony is that originally the orchestra was to have used a different process called direct-to-disc recording.
None of the discs that we cut worked. But fortunately, we had this backup in that 3M was trying out this digital recorder. And it was running, and what was recorded, what we eventually released, was the digital tape made with the machine that they had let us use for strictly a purpose of backup.
No one could have guessed in June 1978 at that recording session that a Grammy was in the future for the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra.
As far as I know, we haven't been involved in awards of any kind before. It was a complete surprise that anything like a Grammy would come to us for that recording. It was never entered anybody's mind that I could think of.
We all won a Grammy, so I don't take it personally.
We were fortunate just for the nominations, let alone the winning.
I was pretty thrilled because it was in pretty good company. I figured that the nomination was about as far as it was going to go, actually.
In fact, the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra received 3 Grammy nominations. The album was nominated for Best Recording, also for Best Production. The actual category in which they won their Grammy was Best Chamber Orchestra Performance of Appalachian Spring. Pride in the Grammy achievement extends beyond those directly involved with the recording to members of the community, the audience of the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. They have long known the excellence of the ensemble.
They deserved it. It's a terrific recording.
I think that's fantastic. Well deserved. Well deserved.
They should enjoy some publicity from that and gain some more support from the community.
Well, I've had that record for nearly a year, and I thought it was fantastic as soon as I bought it, so I was just absolutely delighted that they got it and thought it was extremely well deserved.
I'm pleased, I'm proud for them, and for St. Paul, for the Twin Cities. I think it's a real coup, a good thing and well earned.
Since the announcement of the award, the Chamber Orchestra office has been flooded with calls of congratulations. Over 500 albums were sold in one day. Most record stores completely ran out.
St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. We won a Grammy Award for our recording of Appalachian Spring in the category of Best Chamber Music. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
There's something dreamlike about all the focused attention. Let's face it, hardly any of us will ever know the feeling of winning a Grammy. What an honor for a musician.
Oh, I think it's just wonderful, really. I'm very delighted and excited. I was just overwhelmed when I heard it on the TV.
The recognition matters. I think that the Grammy is a bonus, but the recognition is the important thing.
If it increases the visibility of the orchestra and the kind of recognition that we have for the kind of playing that we've been doing for quite some time, it'll be just super.
I think a lot of people that are listening to the Grammy Awards are involved with the popular music that's also part of it, so they might not have heard much about chamber orchestras before.
I think it's rather nice for the work that the orchestra and I have done together the last 8 years. I think that's the significance of it, really.
I think it's very good for the orchestra. I think it came to us at a very good time. Again, for Dennis's sake, being that it's kind of the end of his time with the orchestra, it's very special that we achieve this now.
And then I thought about it for a minute. Said, am I going to get anything to put on my wall? No. Am I going to get anything that, a silver medal or something like that? No. But now the world knows that, at least for this year, the chamber orchestra is one of the best that there is, and in this case, the best.
But in this case, the musicians aren't the only ones who can bask in the glory of the award won.
I was home with some friends making dinner or something, and the titles were rolled up, and it just sort of passed by, and then I thought, hey, that was us. And it was terrific.
The first time I heard about it was on the television show. I saw it roll, and I have no idea what the rest of the Grammys were about because I was sort of screaming and hollering throughout my house.
First of all, we're very proud for St. Paul and the Chamber Orchestra and Sound 80, with which we work closely.
Well, it's very overwhelming, and I'm normally a fairly self-effacing fellow, and I've had the joy of being able to work on projects I enjoy for most of my working career. But I must say, this is one where I'll grab any microphone I can and say that I think everybody who worked on the record deserves a tremendous amount of credit.
Would have been nice to get a call from President Carter, you know, not to me, to Dennis. Should have gotten a call and say, come to the White House and hang a medal around him.
With all of the patting on the back and handshaking, there's a strong awareness that the audience, who has these past 13 years kept the chamber orchestra alive, deserves a debt of gratitude.
Our orchestra won a Grammy, but who really won that Grammy was the people, were our fans.
Well, I think that what this orchestra has achieved is also in response to the community it's in. It's a very unique orchestra, and the Twin Cities are a very unique cultural community.
It's a Grammy for this whole area, for the Twin Cities area, and the people who have supported us. It's their Grammy.
A chamber orchestra is a very specialized musical group containing enough pieces that allow for strength and definition, yet it's still significantly smaller than a symphony orchestra. Spending even a little time with the St. Paul Chamber, you recognize that there's a quality not only in their music and ability, but in their approach to their work. There's an ease, a love, a joy.
What people enjoy is the intimacy between themselves, the proximity of the musicians, and this becomes a dynamic quality that I think gets people very excited, because they see a relationship between the conductor and the music and the audience and the musicians.
Their enthusiasm, I think that should have been evident tonight, as it is every night. The informality is very engaging. It's really a fine evening.
The vitality, for one, their willingness to do a lot of different things, the fact that they're spontaneous, it's a very personal kind of thing because of their size.
The attraction of the chamber orchestra, I think, has been, these 8 years, the flexibility of the players, and I think the dynamic enthusiasm that they bring to performing in public.
I think what I like about it the most is the fact that by just focusing your attention on a single instrument or a single player, you can hear the sound very clearly. It's a very transparent sound, something that I really miss in a large orchestra.
It's what makes it different than a big orchestra is the intimacy of the concerts and the relationship of the orchestra to the audience.
They're warm and friendly. It's really a delight to listen to them. Tonight's concert was just magnificent. Just really close, I guess.
It's a very special orchestra.
It's got life. I don't know, we come from elsewhere, and one of the things we heard about for a long time before coming to Minnesota was the chamber orchestra. It was one of the big draws for us.
I think it's the best job in the country.
I think the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, as Dennis Russell Davies has worked with them for many years, has developed a degree of ensemble playing which is absolutely unique and rare in the world.
I think that the orchestra has developed a very distinctive style. I think the quality of this orchestra is the very, very highest. I don't think there's really any doubt anymore that the quality of the individual players is extremely high, and the way they work together as a performing ensemble, I think, is right at the very top.
It goes without saying that any successful effort is made up of countless components. Certainly the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra is no exception. And yet, we keep coming back to the importance of the conductor and the remarkable ability of Dennis Russell Davies.
It has to do with the way he moves, very subtle things. I mean, Dennis can give us kind of telepathic cues. It's amazing. In concert, he's really excellent at getting the whole wind section, for instance, to know what he wants to have happen. The motion of an arm will make us attack the note differently.
If you think about a conversation in a room, you can usually hear the people talking next to you, but trying to listen to a conversation happening on the other side of the room is very difficult. If you're sitting in an orchestra and you're playing a part and you have to coordinate it with what someone is doing on the other side of the room, it's equally as difficult. And that's where the practical work of the conductor comes in. You organize visually the metrical organization of the piece so that people can really stay together. It's extremely difficult to play in an orchestra, and I think if the conductor brings that appreciation, a confidence in his own abilities, but an appreciation for the difficulties of what the individual has to do, plus an understanding that what he's doing or what he's thinking is certainly not the most important thing on every single person's mind who's in the room with him. I think it contributes greatly to being effective as a leader and as a conductor.
Dennis is very clear and very kind of graceful in the way he moves.
You play the orchestra the same way you would an instrument. And that is to say, by making the balance, the phrasing, whatever the component parts are going into a performance, that's what I think puts a stamp of individuality on the performance by an orchestra.
Also, he's really with it. You know, he always knows what's going on, and he can tell if someone in the back row really wants to get his attention. He's always on top of it.
The keys, then, to great success: a brilliant conductor, a community that supports and believes in the work, fine musicians who are steady professionals. Standing backstage before a performance isn't what you might have expected. There's no evidence of temperament, rather a practical approach to the job of making beautiful music. The outward appearance is that of great calm. Isn't anyone nervous?
Excited. It's more like it. We're not really nervous anymore. We're just excited.
Not nervous, but hyper. The adrenaline is running.
For this performance, part of the Perspective series, even the dress is casual. And then the players take their place. The concert is about to begin. It's that kind of sound transferred onto their album that won the coveted Grammy, music's most prestigious award.
The real credit has to go to Dennis for being able to generate and sustain that kind of musicality and the thought process and the sort of thing that these particular judges must pick up on and say, well, you know, this performance keeps me with them. This means something. It speaks to me somehow.
I think the fact that a record that was produced with this much love and care behind it, but by a small record label in Minneapolis, could win a Grammy is fantastic. It's a real upper, I think, for everybody.
Though the entire chamber orchestra receives the award of the Grammy, there's only one actual Grammy award. The decision is not yet final, but it's likely that it will go to the conductor, Dennis Russell Davies.
I guess I get a wonderful big plaque, and that's
You do?
yeah, that's good enough for me.
I don't even know what it looks like.
You don't? I'll tell you, it looks like a gramophone. An old-fashioned Victrola gramophone with the big cone on it. That's it.
That's it.
No.
There's no dog in front?
I'm going to get a plaque, and you can believe me that it'll probably hang in my office wall someplace with little neon arrows pointing at it saying, please notice this or something.
I don't know if it'll be on the mantle, if that's what you mean.
That's what I mean.
It'll probably be somewhere in my study where people could find it as they wanted to find it.
The orchestra's winning the Grammy is a nice way for Dennis to conclude his 8 years in Minnesota. His impact has been amazing. He and the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra have grown together, and now, sadly, they will part.
One of the great difficulties of leaving this position and leaving the Twin Cities is to have to leave this orchestra. I have all kinds of positive feelings for the community as I go.
The life and vitality of the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra almost reaches out and grabs you. Watching people so enjoy themselves, the audience member can hardly keep from finding as much pleasure. The exchange becomes complete.
Kick is even Closer word, yeah, and the musicians really had a great time tonight too, and that I think is what makes the chamber orchestra special. And that's why people like to come to these concerts, because they see people who are having fun doing what they're doing, and it's infectious. It communicates itself. That's why we're so fortunate, you know, those of us who are artists and performers. First of all, to live in this community that has so much interest and devotion to supporting the arts, and then for those of us who are fortunate enough to work in the arts, it's exhilarating and it's fun.
Minnesota, you're a big-hearted place with a small-town smile. You've got a good bank on your side. You're our home, Minnesota. You're home, Minnesota. You've grown, Minnesota. We like growing up with you. Northwestern Bank, still on your side. Got a good bank on your side.
The honor bestowed upon the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra points out once again what a vital area the Midwest and the Twin Cities are. Throughout the country, Minneapolis and St. Paul is seen as a major cultural center. The Twin Cities boasts more community theater than nearly any other city in the country. As much professional theater as Chicago and Los Angeles, a nationally renowned symphony orchestra, a professional opera company, a ballet company that's drawn attention from around the world, art museums that are unexcelled, an atmosphere that continually draws national celebrities and road shows to perform here, and a chamber orchestra that focused national attention and awareness on the Twin Cities as an outstanding award winner. We're grateful to them for the Grammy and proud of them. As someone said, it's an honor not only for them, but for the people of their area. Congratulations to the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, winners of the 1979 Grammy Award. I'm Nancy Nelson. Good night.
The Northwestern National Bank of St. Paul and the Northwestern National Bank of Minneapolis are proud to have brought you this program of the award-winning St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. Listen to full-length St. Paul Chamber Orchestra concerts every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. on KSJN-FM 91.1 on your radio dial.
Calling all